What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the I'm Not Lucky, I Am Blessed podcast, episode number 11. So, guys, today we'll be doing something completely different from what we usually do. So, other than talking about business today, we'll be talking about what's going on in my beloved country, Nigeria, okay? So, for those of you who don't know, I'm a Nigerian and, I'm in the state, but I'm still a Nigerian. And what is going on is police killing youths, and also our government has refused to listen to us. So I decided to use this platform to speak up and let the voices of those that have been affected by these issues be heard. And also it's funny that I realize that most of you probably listening, like, people see what's going on Instagram and have no clue what SARS is and what is going on in Nigeria, other than people dying. So I brought two good friends of mine to come on and have like an introduction to what SARS is and what's going on in Nigeria, and hopefully we'll bring in more guests. So you guys make some noise for Tenimonia. Tenny has been on the podcast. Make some noise for Tina.
Hey.
Oh wait, yeah.
I was supposed
to say something.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Hey, I'm Tenny.
Hi, I'm Tina.
Why you guys have been here before, right?
I know.
Yeah, so why you're acting like this is the first time now? Tenny is not even. Okay, so it's gonna be fun, guys. What we talk about today is SARS in general and the Nigerian government and all that good stuff. Okay, so Tina, what are you expecting the people to get out of this conversation that we're about to have right now?
Well, I'm expecting by the end of this particular section, you guys should know what SARS really is, and you guys should be knowledgeable about what's going on in Nigeria or Africa as a whole. It's going on everywhere in the world, but right now it's a big chaos right now in Nigeria. So I expect everybody should be knowledgeable about what's going on in Nigeria right now, and also know what SARS stands for, and also know be knowledgeable.
Okay, that's good. Sandy, what about you?
I think at the end of this whole conversation, I think people should know that the police unit in every single nation needs not just reforms, but better still be given this understanding that at the end of the day, the people that they're going to be dealing with are human beings as themselves.
That's true.
That while they're going to be out there facing all the dangers, those same people that they're trying to protect are also out there. And so, I guess that's the issue with that we'll come to understand with SARS, and not just SARS, with the police department in every nation. So just put your ears down and learn that at the end of the day, these officers need to understand that they're doing a great job, but at the same time, the position they're in could cause a great damage.
True. Okay, so you see, the reason why I came up with this episode or this conversation is because there's a lot of posting going on social media. People are seeing it, but they might not even understand what's going on. They might be saying the hashtag ENDSARS. They might be saying the hashtag end police brutality. Okay, so a friend of mine that I work with was like, what's SARS? I see your post. What is going on in your country? And I explained everything to him. And it was interesting how he didn't even know the smallest thing about. I mean, I get it. It's my country, you get it, right? It's not his country. And now we're calling for help. We want our voice to be heard. We want something to be done. But if they don't know how to help, if they don't even know how to go in, posting is one thing, but at the end of the day too, they have to know the power, the impact, how this is affecting us. Because if they don't understand for example, this lives were lost, you get right, and some people might not even know lives were lost. They might just say, we're just protesting, peaceful protest, but without even seeing what the government is doing to us. So I feel like it's time for us to come together and speak up and explain to the people what SARS is. Okay, so I don't know, me myself, I don't have a full knowledge of SARS, but whatever idea, whatever knowledge that you have, please feel free to put it out there for us, okay? So I'll start with you, Jenny.
Oh.
Man, where am I?
SARS, based on what I've learned, SARS is it was first created to so I'll give the history lesson or the history background of it. Colonel was killed by a group of police officers that were at checkpoint. And by killing this colonel, the army heard of this news, and then the army does not joke. So they came out to the street and they started looking for all the policemen that were on the streets, basically to take them into the barracks. And so because of that, police officers began to run, some resigned, for the fear of their lives. And so because that was happening, so this happened in Lagos now. So because that...
When was that?
In 1992.
1992, okay.
So this happened in Lagos.
Yeah.
So when that happened, basically for like weeks, there was no police officers on the street. So it means that armed robbers were going to come into the streets, and so they began to do all kinds of things. And I heard that that's where there's this famous armed robber. He was also a ritualist, Shina Rambo. That's where he also came out from. He became so strong because of that season. And so there was also like this superintendent in Benin State, Benin, that was already like it was upcoming, but then he was now making waves in that area. And he was ruling with all these police officers. He was leading right. So they now transferred this man to Lagos. And when they did, they now made him to create. So first of all, there's what they call the anti-robbery squad, right? Now this anti-robbery squad is always there in every police department, in every police functioning. They're always there because you have to have that department.
Yes.
So this man was called to create one that was going to help with, because now they did not have policing for weeks, and so this man was now called to create one that was going to like be strong enough to really turn things to come back to the way they were, because armed robbers were everywhere and we were having a field day. And so like this man now created this special anti-robbery task force or force, and so squad. So and then when he created it, it was really that they were going to do bigger than what the police officers were going to do. So now, after weeks of like running, the police officers running, eventually the army and the police force came, and then they agreed. They now finally solved the whole issue, right? And then police officers came back. But when they came back, they were not as strong because like they were regular police officers. Still, armed robbers were going to do what they wanted to do to them. And so now this force was not supposed to. Now came out, and then what they were doing was, if a police officer received a news that there was an armed robbery going on somewhere, the police officers would go. But then SARS was going to be on like different ends of maybe say the road of that place, and then they would not dress like police officers. They would dress without any form of like, you would not know that they were police officers at all. Like
civilians.
Yeah, they were dressed like civilians, and so that was the thing. That was what was getting them to win. So because of that, they now started capturing so many robbers and everything. And before that, because of that, they were not even capturing robbers that would not tell them things that happened in the like before that period, and then they will capture people that they didn't capture before, like police officers now capture. And in that time, what was happening was that, like if someone came to your house to rob, you couldn't go to SARS directly to go and talk to SARS. You have to go to the police office and report, and then the police office, like it was a whole process. It was more organized then. Like people didn't know what, like you cannot see SARS. You just knew that the office was there, but you cannot see SARS. You don't know what they look like. So that's what it was. And so they were effective then. And according to the man that created it, he said that then it was only in Lagos. Like there was no unit anywhere else in any state, because it started in Lagos because of what happened with the police officers and all. So it was only in Lagos, and it was not extended to any other state. And then now he's saying that like the issue now is that there's now spread to other states, like other police offices now have SARS. So like the idea behind it is now lost. So like SARS now has uniform. And then he also said that even then, when they were even organized, it was hard to now injure armed robbers, because like when they see you or they understand that you're working with the force, they want to run or they want to be aggressive, injuries will come and all of that. But then he still said that at that point, it wasn't like there was no, like it wasn't like they were acting without impunity or anything. Like with impunity, they were not acting as though like, oh, we're above the law kind of thing. So they were careful to even in that time So like that's how the whole thing evolved, and now it's everywhere in all the states in Nigeria. And so like the idea of what SARS came for is no longer there, and so it's now lost. Like that's basically the background of
how SARS started.
Yeah, SARS started.
Oh, that's interesting, because I had no idea how the story of SARS was, and with what you said, it started off as an organized something where like these people were in disguise.
Yeah,
it was like something special, like they did special squad, special anti-robbery something squad.
Special anti-robbery squad.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Tina, do you have anything to add to the history of SARS, or like what you want to contribute?
She actually gave the history of it, but another thing she didn't touch about is that then SARS do not just walk around with guns.
Yeah, they didn't have
guns. They don't walk around with guns.
Wow.
Yeah. So not even honestly, not even just SARS, even police people then.
Yeah.
Most times they don't walk around with guns. They only carry guns when they have special event, like a special thing they call them for. They are always prepared.
Yeah.
But then when they are going on the streets, you don't see them with guns. Even regular police people, unlike today where you see everybody holding guns and going around the street like that, going to cash an armor bar or something like that. It wasn't like that before.
Yeah.
So and also another thing, like she said, the whole meaning of SARS, they've lost the whole thing. They're doing their own thing, are being in the streets and doing the things that they would have been caring about other people doing.
Yeah.
More like they care about people not looting all the civilians in the country, or not robbing them, or not like doing those things to them, but whereas they are the ones doing it. I haven't heard recently that SARS actually go around with POS.
Oh wow! You guys know POS, right? So,
so
wow.
Like they go around with POS and like legit get money from citizens, right? And how they know a citizen has money, they look through their phones, and most times in Nigeria, you get like messages from your bank, like alerts messages about your account balance and stuff like that. So usually the people take your phone and then they go through your contacts, go through your messages, and then when they see those things, they know money you have in your account and those kind of things, and then they tell you like, oh, we want this money, and then you have to. If they can't take you to the ATM right there on the street, they'll bring POS and you give them the money.
Oh, wow.
Right? If you don't give them the money, it's either they lay more allegation upon you, or they forcefully take you to the prison. And I've had cases where they will take you to the prison, and then maybe God is so good, they give you the time to call somebody, and then when you call somebody and the person comes to the prison to look for you, they're going to deny that you're not there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're going to deny you're not there. They're going to say, oh, you're not there because they've not gotten what they want. Either they're going to deny that you're not there. Is either maybe somebody, in few cases, maybe somebody overheard them calling someone's name, the person will yell at them like, oh, I'm here, and then they'll bring the person forth, or maybe the person car is parked outside, so the person will recognize the car, be like, no, the person is here, can you say the person is not here? And there have been cases where a lot of these people that they've just carried on the streets, like your brother goes out to buy something and you never hear you never hear from them again. That's the last time you hear from them. Sometimes you stay in the prison, sometimes they've been killed through torture in the prison, and they've been thrown away. Like you don't even know if they're alive or dead. Like people missing in the country, and people missing. There's several things that can make people missing, but police add to those reasons. So it's really crazy. SARS, it's not just they're meant to catch robbers, armed robbers. They're meant to like protect lives, protect properties. They're meant to do the jobs that a regular policeman cannot do. Whereas now they turned the other way, and then we are the victims of the power, or the power that we put upon them, and they abuse us, harass us, take whatever they want, kill. They can, and most of them make boastful comments and be like, I can kill you right now, nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Yeah, and they'll tell you to your face. They don't care if you're videoing them.
Yeah.
And truly, they are right. There's nothing we can do because they can kill you unless you have power in that country. They can legit kill you and bury you, and nobody will say anything. It's not about just going on social media. Like a video can go viral on social media, and then nothing will happen. And then maybe because it went viral on social media, the police might say, "Oh, we're investigating the issue," and then in a week you never hear about the case. In fact, next week another case is up again. Oh, we're investigating that. No accountability in the force, no accountability in the country. The president does not even care about these cases. They act like you don't even see them. So it's just a cycle. It's a cycle. It goes on every time. Like it's been going on for years. And another thing I wanted to say about this whole SARS thing was that in 2017 was when the first protest was going on. Like a peaceful protest went on about this whole SARS thing. And then there was actually this thing, like there was something signed about disbanding the whole SARS thing. And then in 2017 actually, the IGP then said they should disband the SARS.
Okay.
He gave them an authority that they should disband.
Right,
it should be closed, but I don't even know who is supposed to enforce these things. Because funny thing, they keep making this comment, but nobody's enforcing them.
Yeah.
So he said it, but we're still here with SARS again. And then in 2018, the vice president said, okay, they should actually abroad SARS, like more like work on it, like reorganize it, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they now just added F to the old SARS thing. So it now became like federal anti-robbery squad. Anti-robbery squad. Right. So the thing is, that was 2018. Nothing was still done. The same people, the same thing, the same everything.
It just changed the name.
2019 they will come again and say, oh, we've done it. And even this year, funny thing is that the same thing they said in the old comment, the old IGP came out and be like, oh, we disbanded SARS, and then he gave like 5 things that we're going to do, that they're going to bring up a whole new unit called SWAT, and then he said another thing. He said there are going to be investigation on previous cases, and then they're going to be this thing. Like it says so many things, and then it says a lot of these SARS people they might be deployed to other units in the police force, you know, that kind of thing. So, and funny thing, these same words that they've said before has been what they've said before, and they're still saying them again. They're not even ashamed or tired, because nobody's holding them accountable for the words they say. And I don't even know who is supposed to enforce them. So they just come out and say those words, and then today we're like, okay, and then tomorrow nothing. Everything is still where it is, or where it was, or like. So it's just a cycle. So basically that was SARS. So hopefully this year that they say that disbanded it will hold. But even though right now they still seeing SARS in the street though. A lot of cases, people are still saying that there are a lot of cases anyways. But
so like it seems like SARS is uncontrollable.
They're yet to stay.
They're yet to stay. Yeah. Well, like with what I read, it sounds like SARS first was good, and then it went down. What do you guys think was that? What do you guys think affected SARS that made them change from now moving around POS? From now, is it the government that changed that affected them, or like what are things that you think might have affected SARS from going from the hero to the bad guys?
So when SARS was first created, it was created with 15 people only.
Okay.
And then they were created with one man led the whole team. He had his own structure. He was checking in with the people above him, but then he had his own structure and he was determined to turn things around. Now eventually things became so serious in universities. They now had cults, things were now serious with like there were more people on the streets that were really doing bad things, and so like these guys they were no longer just exposed to like hideouts, and they were now exposed to like bigger places where you actually see young people doing things that are terribly bad. Now you're putting them in this space, and then as you put them in this space, they have to detect. They're different people. You can tell there's some people that look bad, but they're not actually bad, and so like they the SARS people, it's not like they had this on this, they were not giving the training for humanity at the same time. And that's one thing that I think we should consider when all these police forces are talked about. Like there's not much understanding about, we keep teaching about the enemy. There's not much teaching about the emotions or the humanity of all these people that we're talking about. And it's just worldwide, that's the thing. We implement capital punishments. We talk about how, if you do this bad thing, if you take another life, you should die. All this is, I'm not saying that it's okay to kill someone or anything, but like once we begin to take all of these steps, we should understand that there are consequences that come with that. Consequences that are going to be beyond our control. Taking someone's life, it should be beyond our control. It shouldn't be something that we have we're not supposed to. If you're deterring someone from taking another man's life, you shouldn't take his life because you're deterring him from doing it, because what you're doing is implementing it, in fact. So I think that what has happened with SARS is really that there's not just there's so many things that have happened. You could talk from the fact that they're not paid well. You could talk about the level of the country itself. Like the country itself, we need a whole lot of restructure. You could talk about, there's so many things, but one thing that I just want to point out is the fact that in all these police things and dealings, there is no much teaching about humanity. There's not much implementation of the fact that human beings are human beings. There's no value on human life. Like we just paint everybody as the enemy. Yes, you're going out as you're going to capture an enemy. We're trying to make sure that other people that are trying to live their lives good are surviving and they're living their lives good. But at the same time, the person that you're also going to capture as an enemy is also a human being as the other person. We're losing the idea that when we even capture these people, the idea for it is, there's rehabilitation, and then there are the people that you cannot really rehabilitate. And I don't even know where we come up with that theory that there are people that you cannot rehabilitate. I'm a Christian, so I'm going to put that out there. I don't think that there's anybody that cannot be rehabilitated if you put God in the middle of it all. So I'm spinning with all kinds of theories and all kinds of thoughts. But what I just want to say is, with all the police forces, including SARS, one thing that got it all wrong is the fact that when we teach about the enemy or going out to capture the bad guy, we don't teach about humanity and the fact that that person is also a human being. There is no value on human lives. And that is out of so many things that went wrong with SARS. But that one thing is one thing that is key. So that's all I have to say.
In my own, I would think, one of the things I was saying before, accountability is very, very important in every organization, in every business, and even our lives. We have to be accountable for the things we do. We have to be accountable to other people too, not just to ourselves. And you being a police officer, you being someone who has gun, who has power, you have to be accountable not just to the people that you are asked to look after, but also to the people that are on your head. But then, is there a head? That's the question. Is there a head?
Is there a head?
Is the head functioning?
Is the head functioning? There could be a head and the
head is not functioning.
That's true.
So, the man that found the SARS thing, he came with a purpose. He had fast. Even though they were just because they were getting the work done. Yeah. And there were accountability. And he mentioned something. He says some of the challenges he faced was that a lot of those times when they go out, they could actually get aggressive with the robbers because they are being aggressive, and then they could maybe gunshots or anything, these people could incur wounds. But then another thing on Nigeria police don't have is they don't have resources to take care of these people. They don't have resources to take care of robbers, even though they are robbers, human beings. When you mistakenly injure somebody, or when somebody something, and then they don't have resources. That is not a thing by this side. So, and another thing he said is, most times when those people are injured, the courts will not let you bring that injured person to the court. It has to be fully taken care of, take care of the wound, make sure the person is good before you bring the person to the court. So that's another thing. Sometimes these police might mistake, because mistakes might happen, But then, is there resources for that mistake to be fixed?
Yeah.
Because then you mistakenly hit somebody or something, and then there is no resources. So what's the point? Because they'll feel like, oh, there's no point. You can't take the person to the hospital. There's nothing, and this one is already out there. Let's just finish it and just trash it, or like those kind of things. Then those could be an instance where all those things are happening. Like there's no point. We can't do nothing about this one. So yeah, that's another thing. And another thing again is the authority in the country itself. Authority is, you've seen where in Nigeria a lot of these police people have left their offices, like their stations, and now they're not protecting privately owned individuals' money, because those people could pay them because of those things. And it's more like if I get a group of police people to protect me, and then I could ask unruly, and then every other person it doesn't matter. Like at the same time, it's more like I'm getting a police person. I'm getting a police person. I hired you, and then I'm paying you. Doesn't mean like you don't know your sense of rights anymore. It's more like I can't just tell you to go and slap a civilian that did not do anything. Just because I'm paying you, just go and slap.
You shouldn't lose your
sense of duty. They've lost the sense of duty in that country. They've lost it a lot, and they'll go like unwavering. Like the money is. I know the government is not paying them right. But yeah, what is the right thing to do if the government is not paying you right? Even teachers strike. Even other places, they strike, they protest, they do things, they call out their people and be like, okay, we need this. I know sometimes it may be in their this thing, job description, or like a law in their own this thing that, oh, you cannot go against the president of your country, or you cannot, no matter what, you cannot protest, no matter what, you cannot speak against your head, no matter what, you cannot do this, because that's the case in the military. So no matter what, you cannot do this, otherwise they can take your life and all this kind of thing. But there are other ways to go around this thing. Another thing again, a lot of police people have been there for years, no promotion. They don't even get promotion. You know, that kind of thing. There is no this thing. The organization is not functioning as an organization should move. It's more like we're using influence in everything. I might not be in the country. I might come to Nigeria today, and then they'll make me a DPO, or somebody has been there working his ass trying to get to that position. So a lot of these police people that I've seen it like it's hopelessness anymore. It's not like if I do it right, it's not like I'm getting any
It's promised.
Nothing is promised in this country. So let me just try and get the way. Get what I want the way it is available. Which is not right, but then the states of the country have pushed them to start thinking that way. The way we civilians are feeling hopeless, those police people might be feeling hopeless too. So another thing again, transparency is another thing. Transparency. If you say you are arresting somebody, at least be transparent enough to say this person did this. Don't forcefully accuse the person. And all the cases that they have been investigating, which one of them have they actually come out and say, okay, we found this and this, or they. And funny thing, most police people, they will never ever want to come out and say they are wrong. Like, where did that even come from? You're a human being. Everybody can
be wrong.
Right. So they don't want to. They rather like impose things on you and lie and hide evidence and everything to come out and say they were wrong about what they did. You know, that kind of thing. So it's transparency, the ads, the whole system, the government, the whole country, everything could make like things could actually mess up people's mind. It may look like they are in a good state of mind, but they are not, because those people, these police people, they are actually human beings. They face pressure too. They can't take care of a lot of us. Right. They have family. They have to take care of their own family. They have to come and take care of the people in the street. Sometimes they get frustrated. Sometimes we don't even know how long the government owe them salaries. And then they don't even have money, and the money they are forcefully taken from the civilians is what they are feeding on. Right, and the government does not even have like medical benefits for these people. Don't even have insurance. Don't even have like, if you're injured, what can you do? What can you have a paid leave to go and take care of your baby? Like, can you treat these people as human beings, and then they will treat other people as human beings? Give them what they want. You know that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you're not treating me right. You're not treating me right, but yet you want me to start doing things. It's more like it's more like a give and take situation. More to say. So these people have lost their sense of duty because of a lot of the treatment they are getting from the people
above them.
Right. So it's a cycle, but then that doesn't make it any right. Yet you will not make excuses for them in any ways. Like I would not make excuses for any policeman in any ways. I don't care if you're having a bad day. I don't care if you're having a good day. Mm-hmm. If you know you're not in the right state of mind to work, stay in the station, don't carry gun and go to the street and kill innocent. Like life is not something you can just give and take. Right? It's not. You cannot make other people mourn and cry. Like some people you kill in the street, they are breadwinners of their families. Like you can't just kill somebody. I've had cases where somebody has been in outside the country for so long and then they just come or just on their way going home, they're killed. They didn't even get to their own house. They could have just stayed in their country. Yeah. A lot of people are in prisons. A lot of people are in prison wrongfully. That's the life you condemn. Like because of the way other people are treating you, can't like it's a thing of sanity. Like if you know you are not in a right state of mind mentally, whatever way you are. Another thing is the police people should have this thing like I don't want to say a therapist kind of thing for their own.
I mean, no one is bigger than therapist.
Right. For their own people, because sometimes like a lot of times they've seen blood. They're so messed up in their heads. They're just like life is anyway. We've killed them anyway, so it's nothing. You know that kind of thing. It's nothing anymore. So they need therapists to start coming to reality, to start being a human being again. Like
to start being a human being again.
Like what? Yeah, like calm down. We're still in this life. Everybody's human being. One gunshot.
You are going to kill. You're still a human being. Don't just shoot him easily. Yeah.
That's it. Like calm down. Only one gun can send somebody to another world. Just calm down. No. Like another, and I think another thing we should start practicing again is in Nigeria is if you know you're just gonna make a policeman stand at the checkpoint, or if you know you're just gonna make a policeman just go on a routine parade, don't let them carry gun.
Yeah.
Let the people who will hold the gun be on standby in the station just in case they will call. And call those people to come, and those people can be going ahead. You know that kind of thing. But don't just go around with guns. And the kind of guns they carry, do you see those guns? And the guns military use for war. And that's why it's easy to kill like 20 people at the same time.
Yeah.
That's suicidal gun. Like if you're saying that I'm going on suicidal mission, I want to go and kill like
but that's what they're using to just stand
that's
on
what
the road.
they're using to stand on the road. That's why they could just open fire and just hit 20 people at the time. If they were using those short pistol guns, by the time you go only to before you go to take it, someone will punch you that kind of thing. So the guns they are carrying, it's not even the right gun a police person should be using, first of all. And that is the governor or whoever, the president, the kind of guns they are giving to these people, there is not even the right one. So a lot of things needs to be fixed. This is, I would say, even though I would say those might be some reasons why they've gone from the hero to the bad guy. It's also not enough reason for you to take lives and condemn people's lives just because of the way you're going, what you're going through. Fix yourself so you're not reflecting your anger on other people. Thank you.
Okay, that was interesting. Let me run this section that we just had up. So what I'm hearing is basically SARS went from, so the government made SARS to be the hero and the government also made SARS to be the bad guy. No, let us be sincere. The grassroots of SARS problem is the government. You get right? Let us not even praise the government. If the government was, like we say, paying SARS like they should be paid, I don't think SARS would have gotten to this level. If the government was being accountable, you get right? If there was an authority above SARS that was functioning or had the resources that whenever they shot people to treat these people, if everything was in place, like if government that created them had given everything they need to them, I mean, no one knows tomorrow. SARS will not be here. You get? So, I think the root of the problem is the government.
So, I agree with you because when when it was occasion, when the man was asked to create this organization, right?
Yeah.
I believe that the same kind of rules and the same kind of ways that they spoke to that man, it is that same thing that is still affecting the force right now. And this is because there is a difference between passion and like, so this man was already ruling, right? He was already leading people. He already knew how to lead. So he probably didn't care about the money. He already had the position. He didn't care about the money. So like even if they were paying him $2 a day, I don't think he would have minded. He would have still served the way he said. Now there were changes. This man left in 2002, and from that moment that he left till now, we've been having. I think he actually the first issue started in 2008 or so, and then 2009, and then it just went on and on and on and just continued. And in 2010, they actually killed a 5-year-old boy because they thought he was a kidnapper. And the funny thing is, that is not really unheard of in Nigeria. You have kids that are still kidnappers, kids that are doing ritual things. Like, we have to understand that all these things that these police officers or these SARS people are scared of, they are still things that are practical in Nigeria. A child could still be a ritualist. It happens in Nigeria. But then the thing is, that same teaching that was given to that other man, it should have been turned around as the leadership was going on. It should have been changed over time. Like you don't expect a person that was already stable to give the same leadership as a person that is just coming to the office. You know, like somebody that did not create it. He wasn't there. He just came and met the same thing. And then now you expand this into other states where like these people don't have the same orientation as that same person. They are not of the same level, whether educationally, whatever level that you want to
fashion-wise.
Yeah, they are not on the same level.
Yeah.
So I think the same idea of SARS, the same teaching of what SARS should be, is the same reason why it is where it is. Because when they occasionally they gave that man so much power. Now, giving that same power to somebody that does not understand the level, it becomes dangerous. So, like, exactly the same reason why it was created was the same reason why it has gone down. And, like, there had to be a little bit of, as the thing was going, is it that you create somebody that is far higher than that man that you gave the first teaching to, or you create people, like you begin to teach people, or reduce the power you're giving to these people, you know, that sort of thing. Yes, the government started the thing, but then they created a problem by starting it in the first place. If you wanted a special anti-robbery force or anti-robbery squad, then you should be able to constantly, look like Tina was saying, like constantly create accountability, constantly create a way that you're checking on them. Yes. Checking on them. Because when you carry just one, like just say, okay, this is how it's going to be red, and then the thing keeps trickling down. Red. Different people are coming to meet red, and they're coming with their own character, they're coming with their own ideologies, and they're adding all of that to the whole process. It's beginning to lose its effect or how it could play out as a good thing. So the government created the good thing and then they created the bad thing, but not even reforming or checking.
Reforming and financing and doing stuff like that. Because like I like pointing that you came up with the idea that SARS basically went from being this nice guys to working with bad guys because they were being paid for. Like, for example, if they weren't getting their monthly payments, family needs to eat, and then they get a call, hey, can you guide me and I'll pay you so much. They wouldn't even care where you make your money from. And they'll just be like, oh yeah, sure, I'm still a security man, you want security, right? I'll give you security. And then they do. I guess that's how it all started. And then before you know it, those money, greed started coming in, I bet you, because they were seeing easy money. You want to say something, right? Yeah. Okay, let me just. So they were seeing easy money than even what they worked for. They could stand on the road for hours and make 2,000 naira, for example, and then come and guide you for 5 minutes and make the same 2,000 naira. Which one would I, so it slowly, and then maybe these people stopped paying them or something, or maybe the boys weren't making money anymore to be paying them constantly. And there's a level at which you will get to financially that you want to stay at that level. Let's not even exempt police from it. There could be a level of where I'm a financial level I'll get to that I would, even if it means me to get into jobs to still maintain that level, I would do it. So I'm just saying maybe that was the reason, because as much as I dislike what SARS is doing, I'm trying to see what caused them to move from, because they are human beings. we have to consider that. So because they are sad does not mean they took out their feelings or their brains or their financial. These people have equal financial problems like us. You get, so I think Penny wants to say something. Before it slips your mind, let me give it space. Sina, you want to say something next? You cannot like just or if something comes to your mind, just let me know. Yeah, but tell me you want to say something.
So one thing that I know that we always say, myself included, we always say when it comes to all of, not just police officers, the entire nation itself is greed. We keep talking about greed. I think that greed, saying that they were greedy is not fair, because we are all greedy, and it's just a natural thing that happens where like we never get satisfied. You no matter what you have, you still want more. That's the idea. You want more and more and more. That's what makes us function. That's why we wake up in the morning. You could have $5 today, and $5 is probably enough to buy food today. But no way you must go out to you still tomorrow. Our mind tells us tomorrow, but it's not really tomorrow. It's really that you just want to have enough. And we never think that enough is enough. That's the idea. So we're all greedy. But then the thing with our own nation, Nigeria, is we have so little that the people that are striving for so much, like they're dragging everybody down, and then they're fighting so hard, those people begin to be called greedy. And like, I'm not saying that our politicians and they're doing a good job or they're doing anything. I'm just saying that the idea that we keep calling all these people greedy or anything is not fair, because every single person is greedy. We are all greedy in our own ways, but then we have so little in Nigeria, that so little. And looking at the video where people were struggling to get the COVID-19 palliatives, it just shows you how like there's so little in the nation, and we know that there are people that are deliberately keeping it to themselves. And I'm not going to say, I know that this is where you say, okay, these people are greedy, but then that's still not greedy in it. It's just stupidity, ignorance, foolishness, wickedness. Because if you call them greed, then you're going to put them on your level they're like me. Those people are wicked in a different level. Their witchcraft is babalawo kind of witchcraft. Because greedy on its own is a natural instinct. But then when you start thinking about saving for yourself so that other people will not have, it's not like you're fighting with them to get so that you will have. You're fighting so that they will not have. That is wickedness. And that's where our politicians are. They are just like absolutely wicked to the point that they don't want to even see any other person shine. And for me, this whole SARS fight is not just about, let's just stop or reform the nation or reform this one thing or reform that thing. For me, it's really just realizing that our leaders from the beginning, they just don't want to see the rising of a child. We sing this song every single time. We sing it in our national anthem, how the compatriots are the ones that will rise up. We sing it even in our primary schools, our secondary schools, how the children are the leaders of tomorrow. But if you look at the whole Nigeria, we don't have good schools that will help these children to become leaders of tomorrow. Now, when you finally grow up and become people, you don't want them to still have good jobs that will help them sustain. You want them to continuously remain or become shames to their family or shame to their family. The ones that now fight and become, they begin to go into illegal jobs. You begin to put them in different categories as criminals and everything. And then when they get into those places, they have police forces that will come and kill them legally because they have the right to. Like if you look at it, there's just this structure that constantly just reduces the life of the child in Nigeria. And that is, to me, that is the thing that pains me. SARS is most likely like the final ending of the whole thing, the whole structure, the whole way the young child in Nigeria should die. It's just literally the final step. It's not even our problem. Right now, it's probably the thing that's packing it, but then we should go back to the starting, how there is it's actually a stable structure to hinder a child from growing in Nigeria. If you look at our leaders, every one of our leaders, both in the senatorial department and every other level, if you look at all of them, none of them is a child. None of them is younger than 65. Well, 65 is even too much.
I heard someone say Nigeria is the only country where the leaders are older than the country itself.
I mean, there's so many other countries, but like they just deliberately keep children out of places where they should be. Even from the home, even from your house, even from being your own family house, your parents want you to do a particular thing. There's this idea that the elderly must rule. And that's the thing that needs to stop from the house and even outside of the house. You need to begin to think that if you're calling this child the leader of tomorrow, that child has to have a brain of their own. They have to have a mind of their own. They have to have an understanding of their own. And like, it's at 21 that I began to understand so many things that I could have understood as a child, maybe from 15 or from even 12. I could have understood those things, but I did not know until I was 21. And I understood those things when I was out of my own country. I think that, for me, it's just so painful that there is no child in Nigeria now. Even as a child, you don't get to experience things as a child.
Yeah.
You experience things as a soldier. You have to get strong. You have to hide all your feelings. You have to. It's systemic. It's so systemic, and it's so painful now because now I'm seeing the end of it. Yeah. SARS is the end of it. If you stay in Nigeria too long, you begin to see that after you go through this. No school, no job, no anything, shame, criminal, everything. When you go through that, you're going to end up in the police. If not the police, you're going to end up in a cult where they'll kill you. There is no life. The system does not save you, does not protect you. But at the end of the day, you have to claim you're Nigerian as well. There's nothing that just makes you Nigerian, even though you're in the land. Because the thing is just constantly trying to drop you down. There's no leader, right now, there's no leader that did not know anybody in the 1960s. Like if you're a leader right now, you probably had some position in the 1960s when we were gaining independence. You were already in politics.
In politics, yeah.
When we were gaining independence.
And that's still now you're still
in politics. And that is sad. Because you don't have any, it's just so painful. From the day that it was born till now, Nigeria itself has not cared for the children. And that is painful. That just hurts me so badly.
Thank you. Wow. So, truth be told, I agree with you on that one because our generation even the generations before did nothing about that. They endured it. That's why they never had a chance. Now this is
many of them are outside the country.
Many of them are outside the country. This is our generation, and it's so beautiful that this SARS thing started because this SARS is just the icing on the cake. SARS was not yes, we want SARS to end. They might be banned SARS, but at the end of the day, we want bad governance. We want a change in government. That's like the major issue. For me, it's like, who knows? We might still need SARS might still be rebranded, changed, new generation SARS. You get right? People that love this job because there are people that still really, really have passion for investigating people. There are people that still really have passion for holding criminals.
Every police office has the anti-robbery squad.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the special anti-robbery squad. If we're going to reform the anti-robbery squad of the police unit, at least they should reform it. But then, in that reform, let it be known that the idea for this reform is to work on armed robbers. Armed robbers, the ones that actually try and they declare that it is their own lifestyle to take people's properties and cut all of this. These are the people that they are going after good. And let us also put it in that same notice that we have leaders that are armed robbers, and then their own armed robbery is not with guns or anything. Their own armed robbery is power. They use power and say, okay, I am your leader, and so I need to quench you. I am your leader, so you cannot come and step in front of me, you cannot protest, you cannot speak your word. Buhari himself is an armed robber. So that if we're going to say that all these this armed robbery vertical squad, they need to work on it. Please work on them to figure out how they can get all those leaders out of it. If it's the so-called senators that will help us and be the armed robbery squad of Nigeria, or the police, or the legislative department, whatever, let those senators figure out how to begin to impeach leaders that are not serving. Because the nation itself,
money and our rights and everything.
The nation itself is under, it's as if we've been seized. And we're under there's this word that they call for those people that put people together, you just kidnap them. Our nation feels that way. It's been caged up by leaders that don't have any business with leadership in any way, shape, or form. They should never be leading in any way, shape, or form. In fact, you can tell from their own families how they've not been able to lead their own households. And these are the people that are called leaders of Nigeria or representatives of Nigeria. We need to figure out how these people should be taken out. If they need to reform their own minds, please let them reform their minds out of seats. Let young people, not young people that are like them, but young people that have been lectured to know how to lead, begin to lead.
That's true. Tina, any input on this conversation?
Okay.
Tina has been cool. Like.
Okay, going back to first what you said is yeah, I will agree that the police is a problem of SARS in the country because they're letting the country run in autopilot. There no more trainings for the police. There's no more basic amenities for the police station and the people as well.
Yeah.
Not to talk of the citizens, not even the civil servants in the country. So yeah, the government is not providing the things we need, and every year they keep making budgets for things that is logical, but we're not seeing the effects in the country, not in the economy, not even in the people.
Yeah. But
yet we're seeing the figures. We're actually borrowing money from China too, but yet we're not seeing the money in the country. We don't know if the money is hanging in the air, or we don't know if, like the other kids, they see a snake or a mice.
Swallow the money. For real.
For you, okay. Be serious. Yeah, cases like that. So yeah, I would accept the government itself, the president, all of them, the Senate. But at the same time, we keep pushing the government, we keep pushing the president, the Senate. Those people. Even
the president is
people.
Yeah.
Because they are actually the force behind the president. Those people. I don't even know the kind of thunder that will fire them.
I know.
And see others that mother that is that they iron and starch every day. But yeah, legitimately, those people. I don't know why they are being paid ridiculously. And they are not making. I'm not seeing any rules that they are making. Are they adding or removing from the country? In fact, they're actually disobeying the ones that are already there. The constitution itself, they are the ones actually defiling the constitution. They are defiling it because they are not even just disobeying. They are defiling it. They can do whatever they want, and they will not even bring those things to notice. They don't even let we, the people, even know what they are doing. Everything is being done indoors, like closed doors. They do clean months, everybody go, and then they'll pay them money. Allowance here, allowance there. They make money, that's why they can do whatever they're doing. But yeah, another thing again is, when we're talking about the rulers in Nigeria,
Special.
Yeah, like you said, yeah. The rulers in Nigeria, all of them, in 1960, they were there in the country. They were there. They had position in the military.
Until now, they still.
Until now, in fact, they reformed themselves from being a military person to now a democratic president. And I don't know how we were blinded and they were allowing them to rule, and they were expecting better. Of course, these people they've led several coups in the past. And these people, they are military people. Like I don't want to start saying the Northerners, the Easterners, the Westerners, because then I don't want to look like I'm trying to differentiate different people. We're all one. But yeah, I will still say the Northerners. A lot of them, during when Nigeria got that independence, they were not as educated as the Easterners and the Westerners. Yeah. They are not, but yeah, they were more holding powers. And still now they are still more holding powers.
So imagine.
And even this person, what's his name? They interviewed him then, and then he said, that they would rather, the Northerners themselves, they would rather look for expatriates to do the job in Nigeria than actually give the job to a Nigerian to do it. So if you're wondering why Nigerians, they don't get a job, it's because of the jobs are being outsourced outside. They rather trust Africa, more people there outside to do the job than to give it to a Nigerian. And when they want to give it to a Nigerian, they rather give it for a contract. And the reason is that if you go to the other parts of the country, like the south, the east, the west, you won't see like Northerners being employed. So when they get the job, they still want to like employ their own people. Yeah. So that's why even in the military then, Northerners were not that rampant. they fought for it. They said the Northerners must be in the military. That's why you see a lot of them. From military, that's where they get their power. From military, they do whatever they do, and then they come into politics.
Oh.
They're not really educated. I will learn
so they don't come in the normal way.
They're not coming.
So they go in through the
right. So that's how they come in. They come in through military, from military power, and then they go into politics. Like they go from military and being obedient to somebody in the government. From them, they come into power. And by that way, that's why sometimes you've never heard about them before. They just come, and then you're like, oh, they were military before in the past, and then they're having history and all these kind of things. That a lot of them, I don't know how they came up with Buhari educational documents and then all those first things there. And yeah, it's a sad thing going on in Africa. The truth is, we the youth in the country, we the younger ones, they say we are the leaders of tomorrow. We dance to it in school. Oh yeah. We dance, we sing to it. We even act like one because we wake up every day around 6 or 7 just to go to school. Yeah. Iron your uniform, be responsible and all those things there. Only for you to finish your secondary school and then you are battling to actually get into university. Not because you don't have the brains, but because you have to pay people accompanying with your brains too. Your brain, they will let you know that your brain is not enough. Yeah. Your brain, your knowledge is not enough. Everything they've taught you in school is not enough. You need money too, you need influence to get what you want and where you want to go in life. And not only that, another thing again, even with those things, they'll still shut you up. It's more like power past power. Even if you have power, even if you have money, when somebody that has more power comes, they'll shut you down and take that person. That's just that, because there have been cases where students can't even go to school. Like if you're talking about even having a good schools first, then the schools that we have now, are they really actually giving admissions to these people? Because then these people that will go, they'll write JAM, write these things there, and then they will go and apply to school. Only for them, they qualify, but then you remove their name and sell it to somebody that is not. Yeah, you sell those things there.
That's what happens in Nigeria.
And then those things, like, I don't even understand. They don't know these things affect people mentally. Mentally, you sit in your house for years. That's why you see a lot of people, I don't mind, they're going into crimes. A lot of people that will decide to go into business, they'll start to this, and yet the country is still not
favor them.
Clap a little for you. In fact, they will actually condemn you with whatever you're doing. In my own sense, crime I will never support in any ways. I don't care what led you into the crime. I don't know, but I would never support crime in any way. I will never. Bad is bad, no matter what you want to say. There's no white bad, there's no red bad, or whatever colors you want to put in it. Bad is bad. Another thing, so I don't want to go in this thing of crime and Yahoo and all those things, and that one is another whole different story for another day. But yeah, so it's more like, the things that's going on with the youth in Nigeria, they're being forced into it, mentally, physically, different ways, even spiritually, because there's a lot of things going, like fake churches, extorting people, making like the gullible ones, they've been pushed here and there. People are being battered spiritually, and my heart always goes for the poor. It always goes for the poor. They work hard, but yet they are getting oppressed, and yet they have nobody to cry to. They only have God to cry to. Until God will answer their prayer, that's their only hope. Because then the rich people, if Nigeria start getting more, like if something should happen in Nigeria now, all the rich people, all the Africans will fly away. It's still the poor that will be affected. Yeah. So even this whole protest that went on, my heart was going out for the poor, because of at the same time I was saying that if people knows like this thing was a peaceful protest, but at the same time there should be a backup plan for the poor. There should always be a backup plan for the poor. If you're going to push the poor people forward, have a backup plan, because when it all goes down, you will be in your house. They will be the ones who carry the whole thing in their head. Because they cannot, because another thing is that these poor people, they can be killed in their house, they can be tortured in their own house, but they don't have social media to come and cry at, they don't have anything to come and cry at in their house. But then when you want to come and ginger them, yes, they know what they want, they know what, but they don't know how to go about it. And then you come and ginger them and say, oh, let's go for it, let's go about it this way. And then they'll go out with it. But then when Yawa gas now, they are the ones because of now they will say 24-hour lockdown. Poor people, if they don't go out, they can't eat, and you lock them in the house for 24 hours. And then the people that ginger them to go now, they are eating chicken in the house. And then the poor people are there crying in the house like, see what's going on. See what's going on. I would have not gone for this, like all this kind of things. So the poor people in the country are the ones always suffering. If you don't have money in that country, you suffer. You will suffer. The suffer is even carrying weights, waiting for you. But yeah, it's a lot going on. Nigeria politics everywhere in the country. The corruption is just so high. It's shocking. Like it's shocking, and they're doing it in your face. There's nothing you can do. Yeah, you can't do nothing. So yeah.
Okay, so before we end, Tenny quickly wants to say something. Yeah, today just a quick brief. Next time we'll come back and talk some more about Tenny.
Yeah, so I mean, since I'm sensing that we're running up, since we're running up, I just want to say that every single person, especially as Tina's pointed it out, the poor people there in Nigeria, they are the ones, many of us, I mean, I've not personally had an encounter with SARS myself. I've heard so many testimonies, and it's saddening when you hear them, and just being human enough, it just makes you feel like you too, you've experienced it. But then there are people that are in Nigeria and they've had first-hand experience. They've seen all these things happen to them, their family, their loved ones. They've lost properties because of these same SARS people and all of that. So when these people are being gingered up and said, oh, let's go and do this, they will be the ones to have like the highest. In fact, they feel the most pain. They feel more pain than you that is trying to agitate them to go on this move. Sure. They feel the most pain. They feel it like deeply. So when this whole thing comes down, and like the ball is hitting back again, and like we're now receiving pressure from the government or anything, we need to find a shed for those people, because they are the ones that started off with the most emotion, and then they are still the ones that will feed off from the most pressure. So like, as we're speaking about all these things, please, if you know any way that you could donate to anything, I know that the feminist.com, they have something that you could donate to them.
That's finished. Wait, were you videoing this thing the whole time?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's finished now. It's okay.
It's not something. No. So like, as we're about all these things, please, if you know.
Something went wrong.
Them off with the most emotion, and then they are still the ones that will feed off from the most pressure. So like, as we're about all these things, please, if you know.
Listen.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
we just cut it. We'll cut.